New tonight, a legal battle continues over the construction of a massive AI data center in Sulphur Springs. The former owner of the land, Luminant Mining, is suing the city. The city is suing back. The center is located at the outskirts of Sulphur Springs city limits near Highway 11. Our J.D. Conti obtained documents that some residents say shed light on a process that is not transparent.
I hear all the time, don't California my Texas. I don't have to worry about it. There's plenty of people doing it for me.
Lisa Lage is talking about this, what would be a massive AI data center in her home of Sulphur Springs.
This isn't just a data center. This is potentially one of the largest in the world. It's 30 buildings the size of Costco.
Jamie Mitchell runs this page, what she calls an effort for transparency. KLTV reviewed a year and a half of city council minutes starting in August of 2024. There was no mention of the words data center, AI, or the developer, MSB Global. The council often discussed road and utility work on Thermo Road, the street that leads to the project. Residents say they never knew this project was coming.
I didn't find out from the city. I found out from a video that MSB Global Services had uploaded.
When we spoke to city manager Mark Maxwell in September, he said the project would bring in $100 million in tax revenue to the city annually.
We're about to have enough money to repave every street in town, refund all of the homeowners' property taxes.
He also said the city has enough water to cool the center, which would require massive cooling systems. The previous owner of this site, Luminant Mining, has sued the city to stop the project. They say city officials breached a deed restriction included when the land was given to the city as the company faced bankruptcy. It states the land cannot have any means of energy production or storage. City Attorney Nate Smith says Luminant snuck that deed language into the land agreement.
It was a deceptive deal.
The Attorney General's office has sided with the city, saying Luminant has put these restrictive deeds all over the state. Through a public information request, we obtained an April 11th, 2025 letter from City Manager Maxwell to Luminant. It shows the city trying to buy out that deed restriction, including a $1 million payment and $10 million in revenue from the property over time. For Lage, she says her trust in city government has faded.
They've told so many lies now, they can't cover them. They can't make them right.
I'm here at the site, and as you can see, there's nobody here. Construction has halted, and it's partially because the developer doesn't have the necessary liability insurance. Sulphur Springs City Attorney Nate Smith says they couldn't speak on camera ahead of a hearing on the lawsuits on Wednesday. However, he did say MSB Global didn't have the insurance the city required. Smith says MSB acquired new coverage, but was then dropped by that firm once they were added to the lawsuits.
There's so many T's that aren't crossed and I's that are not dotted.
Mitchell believes a conflict of interest arose between a city employee and a company representative. City Manager Maxwell refuted the allegations in a public post on social media.
And I think there are more of us that are questioning whether all of this is even legal and appropriate.
We have called and emailed MSB Global, but have not yet received a response. Maxwell says the first talks between MSB and the city didn't happen for another month when the company representative told Smith her company was looking for large industrial sites. The city and MSB signed a letter of intent for the property in December of 2024. J.D. Conti, KLTV 7 News.
There's a hearing set for those lawsuits tomorrow morning. The city provided us with a statement that reads, in part, the city upholds the highest standards of transparency and ethical governance. Attempts to introduce unrelated personal matters appear intended only to distract from the substantial economic benefits this project will bring.